Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Football Insider. And yes, we are back with a transfer daily show, bringing you all the transfers every day from this YouTube channel. Of course, as pre-season comes upon us, it means transfers are starting to ramp up as clubs look to frantically strengthen their sides before they fly out to either on tour or they stay in the country to make sure they're best prepared for the season. And every club needs to strengthen to make sure they have a better season than last. And us at Transfer Daily are bringing you the news that your club might be signing a new player or selling a player. But the club we are going to start off with is Arsenal. Now, of course, Arsenal have been ever busy in this transfer market. The most aggressive they have been in a few years at the start of a transfer window. And it looks like on this Friday, they are set to complete a triple deal. A big moves for Edu and Arsenal, of course. Arsenal narrowly missed out on the Premier League title last season. And it looks like Edu and Arteta have come up with a plan to make sure that don't happen. And one plan is to be strong in the transfer window. But as reports have gone out today, Kieran Tierney and Declan Rice are set for medicals at London Colney. Now, of course, Declan Rice is set to smash the British transfer record, which was only broken by Jude Bellingham just in this window. But Arsenal have agreed a deal worth up to £105 million. Now, he is going to be on his way to Arsenal, of course. So a major move for Arsenal. Declan Rice is set to undergo a medical test today at London Colney. And following him will be Kieran Tierney. Now, Kieran Tierney costs much less than Declan Rice, to be exact. £43 million. That is the expected deal worth to be up to. He is also set to be an Arsenal player, of course. The Holland international played in the World Cup for Holland. He's been a mainstay at Ajax for the last couple of seasons. Now Arsenal are getting through the door to provide competition for players like Ben White, players like William Saliba, Gabriel, of course, and he could potentially play anywhere else in the defence. So a major double deal for Arsenal, which could take Arteta's cost up to £600 million since joining Arsenal in 2019. Now, £600 million has been spent on transfer. So Arsenal will be hoping that they can hopefully win some silverware this season. And that's not the only deal that is set to be completed today, as William Saliba is also set to sign his Arsenal contract according to Fabrizio Romano. Of course, William Saliba was absolutely crucial for Arsenal last season. He played a major part in defence, and when he came out with the back injury, that is when Arsenal started to lose results, and that ultimately they ended up losing the league. So William Saliba signing a new deal could be a major boost for Arsenal's back. And of course, the Frenchman was absolutely sensational. He got called up to the World Cup squad, and then after that is when the injury came, and he was unable to return for Arsenal's last chase for the Premier League title. So a triple deal expected at Arsenal, a major triple deal for the Gunners. Big moves. And let's move on now to another Champions League club in the Premier League, and that is Manchester United. Now, of course, Manchester United were quiet up until this week in the transfer market when, of course, finally they announced Mason Mount from Chelsea. The Mason Mount took the number 7 from Chelsea, and now he's set to join Manchester United and join the midfield for next season. But that is not the only deal that is looking like it's going to happen for United, as Andre Onana from Inter Milan is also closing on a deal to the Red Devils. Now, of course, a major talk whether if David De Gea signs a new contract, does that mean Onana can come through, or will he not sign despite De Gea not signing a contract? But it looks like United are going to go with the deal, as according to reports in Holland and Football Insider can also reveal that United are set to complete a deal for the Cameroon international. And of course, Onana was absolutely excellent for Inter Milan last season. He broke the record for keeping the most clean sheets in the Champions League last season for Inter Milan as they got to the final, but unfortunately lost to Manchester United's rivals, actually Manchester City. So that deal, it looks like it's going to happen. Of course, Onana also played at Ajax under Erik ten Hag, so Erik ten Hag knows the goalkeeper inside out. So it's almost a perfect move for him as he can slot straight in. So United strengthening the goalkeeper positions and the midfield positions in this last week. It looks like they are going to be even more busy as the transfer window grows nearer to the season. Of course, they're linked with a striker of Rasmus Holland. It's still the talk of subject for United. We'll see if they can get that deal through the line. But for now, Mason Mount and Andre Onana look to be the first two signings for the Red Devils. Let's now move on to a team who were in the Champions League last season but haven't qualified this season, obviously, is Chelsea. Of course, they had a really disappointing last season, finishing 12th in the 22-23 campaign. But it looks like they're going through a major squad overhaul. And once again, it's been a mass exodus for players. We've seen Mason Mount leave. We've seen Ruben Loftus-Cheek leave. Koulibaly set to leave. Edouard Mendy has also left. N'Golo Kante is also going. And now that is not the end of the sales there, as it looks like Chelsea are prepared to sell Raheem Sterling. Now, of course, sources have told Football Insider that the Englishman can leave Chelsea. He just joined last season from Manchester City. Big things were expected, but of course, after Chelsea's disappointing season, Sterling was unable to deliver on the way that Chelsea were expecting. And now they're willing to listen to offers. Of course, another winger in Hakim Ziyech was meant to leave Chelsea, but he failed a medical when he was meant to go to Saudi Arabia. So the failed medical means that Chelsea are quite pretty stacked up on the wings right now. And of course, they still have Callum Hudson-Odoi on their books. They still have Christian Pulisic, who also looks like he's going to leave on their books. And they still have, of course, they signed Mykhailo Mudryk in January, which I'm sure dented Sterling's game time going forward. So it would make sense for both parties if Sterling does leave, and that it does seems to be that there will be interested to see which clubs do come in for the Englishman and who try to sign him. He is rich with experience, of course, England international, been with England on their way to the Euro 21 final, of course, the semi-final World Cup 2018, and was a mainstay for the World Cup that just went in 2022. So, and of course, let's not forget he is a Premier League winner with Manchester City as well. He played a major part in Pep Guardiola's rise to stardom almost in the Premier League. So Sterling could be available for a transfer. Now let's move on to West Ham and let's talk about who are they going to replace to sign? Who are they going to replace for Declan Rice? Because, of course, Declan Rice was the captain. He was the main guy in the midfield, and it's so crucial that West Ham do find a replacement. And it looks like they may have found that player in Dennis Zakaria. Now, of course, Chelsea fans will be all too familiar with Dennis Zakaria as he was with the club last season, of course, on loan. Now it looks like West Ham are looking to get a deal over the line to make sure he also signs for the club. Now, DiMaggio is reporting that West Ham will sign Zakaria on an initial loan deal with an option to buy permanently at the end of the season. So, of course, that'll be a major deal for West Ham to get that over the line, of course, after selling Declan Rice, their main player. They've got money to burn as well after receiving a British transfer record fee of £105 million. So I'm sure the spending will not end there for West Ham, of course. They've been with many midfielders in this window, of course, João Palhinha from Fulham, but it looks like they were priced out for the midfielder. But yeah, they have been linked to many midfielders, and it looks like Dennis Zakaria is going to be one of the players to come through. Now, of course, we started the video with Arsenal. We're going to, the last topic is going to end with Arsenal as well, but not with the ingoing, with an outgoing actually of Kieran Tierney. Now, of course, Kieran Tierney has been linked with a move away since the end of last season when it was quoted that Newcastle were interested in the defender, and it looks like now Tierney, with a deal yet to be completed, and Newcastle going on to other targets, of course, they've looked at Borna Sosa, they've looked at another fullback in Tino Livramento. By now, it looks like Tierney is set for crunch talks with Arteta to sort out his future at the Gunners. Of course, Kieran Tierney played a major part for Arsenal in his early years. He was a favourite for Arteta. If Tierney was fit, he was playing, of course. But of course, he did have a lot of injury issues. But last season, as Arsenal signed Alexander Zinchenko, Tierney found game time very limited. And if Zinchenko is fit, it makes Kieran Tierney simply did not play. And of course, it looks set to be happening again in the upcoming season. So Tierney is set for crunch talks with Arteta to sort out his future under the Gunners. Of course, with Arsenal signing players like Jurriën Timber, it means the defensive options are even more packed. So Tierney's game time could become even more limited there. So it'll be interesting to see if the Scotsman does leave Arsenal. Of course, he's still young, still with plenty of Premier League experience. So the interest will not be fry on Kieran Tierney, of course. I think it's just the price tag. That's why Newcastle, they were having issues with signing Tierney because of the price tag and his injury issues, and they've decided to move on to other targets for now. But of course, it is still very early in the transfer window, so there's always time for Kieran Tierney still to make the move to Tyneside and to Newcastle. But we shall see what happens. But guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you for tuning in, of course, to Football Insider's Transfer Daily Show. Of course, there'll be many more of these, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and like our content. Of course, we are still a couple months away before deadline day, so expect many more deals and many more shows. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you subscribe to the Football Insider.